I'm Sakura Uejima. I'm in my second year of junior high school. I have a brother 2 years older than me, and he was the center of everything in the house as he was to take over my father's company. My father was the third president of a fairly large company, and my brother was to become the fourth president, and was super spoiled. He could go to learn anything he wanted because my parents didn't hesitate to spend money on him. From the moment he started something, his equipment was top class, and he would be taught by the best teachers. But none of the things he learned last for more than 6 months. So we had a huge pile of things that my brother didn't use anymore. Mom, I want to learn Japanese calligraphy. Can I use my brother's old stuff? You don't need to learn that kind of stuff because you're a girl.
You only have to worry about getting married. It would be a waste of money.
But my brother gets to learn lots of different things. That's because he will take over your father's business. You two are different.
Why don't you practice cooking so that you won't have any problems when you marry a rich man?
My brother dominated my mother and father's attention. My grandfather, on the other hand, was on my side.
You want to learn Japanese calligraphy? Then I'll teach it to you.
Uh-huh. Thanks, Granddad. But everyone tells me that I'm not important.
That's not true. I love you, Sakura.
Granddad.
There.
I don't know what I would have done if my grandfather wasn't there for me. Although he was favored by my parents, he would secretly go out and would ditch studying or learning. He even thought I was a slave or something just because I was treated like I was invisible.
Hello, my slave.
I'm not your slave.
It's better than being invisible.
What do you want?
Do my homework again.
Again? Why don't you do it yourself?
I'm ordering you to do it because I can't be bothered.
I'm still in junior high. I don't know what you're studying in high school.
You can borrow my textbook.
Why do I have to borrow it when you're asking me to do it for you?
I'm not asking you. I'm ordering you to do it. What else are you worth, apart from being a little bit smart? Your face is average, and your breast is flat as a cutting board.
It's going to grow.
I don't think so.
I bet you're just playing around. Come home and do it yourself.
I'm busy with lessons, you know.
Liar. I know that you're ditching cram school and other lessons.
So what? Are you going to tell on me? Didn't Mom tell you before that your brother has his own pace?
Are you okay with that? Playing around and not doing anything? Although you can have lessons and stuff?
I don't care. I mean, the fact that I will become the company president doesn't change, so why bother making an effort?
Do you really think that? You'll be able to take over Dad like that?
Let me tell you in case your little brain can't understand. It's the bloodline that matters, not the effort you make, not the skills you have, but the bloodline. Of the male, of course, not the women, which means I am the important one. All I have to do is just become the president. That's how companies work.
My brother was like this with any conversation we had. He thinks that he can become the company president without doing anything. He also thinks that just because he will become the president, he already has power. But I thought this was wrong. My grandfather was the only one who agreed with me. My brother didn't study at all, but his grades were really good. But that wasn't because he was originally clever. As a sister, I can confirm that he was terribly dumb. I realized that one of his classmates was the son of a subcontractor of our father's company. He was a clever boy, but my brother was forcing him to take his money and help him cheat on exams so that he could get good grades. My brother threatened him that if the boy were to ever disobey him, he would stop the orders to the boy's father's company. This exploitation continued until they graduated high school. However, my parents would be really happy at seeing his fake grades. They said that he was a great successor and didn't even warn him for his bad attitude. I got mad at my brother and my parents for not even realizing what my brother was doing. Did you cheat on the exam again?
How did you know?
There is no way you could have gotten that score. Because you're always playing around and making me do your homework.
Maybe I'm a genius.
What's 7 times 9?
64?
See?
Well, that was because you caught me off guard.
There's no point in continuing this. Mom and Dad were talking that you should go to Tokyo University.
Tokyo University? Yeah, that'll be great.
Do you really think you can get in?
The results doesn't matter. Plus, if I try the hardest university, it'll be less disappointing when I fail. And if I fail, I can become a Ronin and have tons of free time. Don't you think that's a dream life?
Are you taking the entrance exam so that you'll fail? I wonder what Mom and Dad will think when they hear about this.
They are better off like this. I'm letting them dream about the perfect son. And in return, I want a sip of the sweet juice, you know what I mean?
Fine, have it your way then.
You, on the other hand, have to make an effort to get into a national university, so good luck with that.
You don't have to tell me.
I feel sorry for you, though. No matter how hard you try, a normal employee is the best you can get. While I already have a future of becoming a president.
You never know what will happen in the future. Granddad said so too.
Well, Granddad is your only ally, isn't he?
He's more than enough. As the examination period approached, my brother applied for the most difficult university to get into in Japan, just like my parents wanted him to. But he failed miserably in the standard exam. The university he applied for eliminated candidates who scored lower than a certain score from the process. My brother couldn't get the required score and couldn't even move on to the second exam. My parents seemed shocked by this.
I didn't make it this time, but I'll try again next year.
Right.
Everyone makes mistakes.
I saw my brother with a smirk on his face. So my brother became a Ronin and started his new life like he wished. Because he played around the entire time and didn't study, he got eliminated 3 times. On the 4th time, he overslept and didn't even take the exam. My parents thought that this couldn't continue any longer and gave up on him passing the standard exam. So now he was to go to a low-level private university that anyone could enter just by writing their name on the answer sheets. But it took my brother 6 years to graduate that university. Meanwhile, because I was doing my brother's homework, I was able to do well in high school and got accepted to a high-level national university straight away. I graduated in 4 years, before he did. But even then, my parents would still insist on making my brother the successor. And when I was in my 4th year of university, my grandfather finally lost it.
Are you seriously going to make Ryuhei, who has been doing nothing but play around, take over the precious company?
We've raised him for this.
Don't interfere with his father. It's my company now. I'm definitely going to make Ryuhei the next president.
You really think people would want to work for him?
We'll make them work for him.
What a terrible thing to say to your own grandson.
And what about yourselves? You've been so cold to Sakura.
She is our daughter, but she isn't necessary for the company's future.
It's obvious for a company to invest in something more profitable.
Then I will raise Sakura as a businesswoman. I'm sure you will find out soon which is more suitable as a business owner.
I was listening to their argument, and my grandfather's words made me cry. I didn't intend to work at my father's company, but I wanted to prove my grandfather was right. I started working as the direct subordinate of the chairman. My grandfather at work was a completely different person and was extremely strict. He had never shouted at me before, but as soon as I started working, he would tell me off for everything I couldn't do. He gave me endless jobs and he made me attend every single meeting he was in with a client. This was the second president, and the man who made the company grow 10 times bigger. There were hard things, especially because we were family, but I didn't give up and tried to keep up. My father, or the president, gave my brother an important position from the very beginning and was obviously being favored. He was being cocky and was saying,
I am the future president.
really loudly all around the company building. It was obvious that his skills didn't meet the required ability to handle the jobs my father gave him. His behavior was unacceptable too. Hey, the meeting's already started. Where are you?
I'm more powerful than you know. Be more respectful.
I was working here before you. And I work for the chairman, so it is completely irrelevant.
What the hell? You little...
That doesn't matter right now. Hurry up and come to the meeting. We're having a meeting for tomorrow's important business case. You're going to visit the client on your own instead of Dad.
It'll be alright. Take it easy. I'll figure something out if you make the documents.
This is serious. Do you understand how important tomorrow's client is?
Of course. That's why the future president is going, right?
They order from us very frequently, and they're one of our biggest clients. What is that bad attitude? You better not go like that tomorrow.
Shut up. You're making the drink taste bad.
What? Are you drinking?
Drinking from noon is great.
Are you insane? Did you just walk out on your job?
I can do whatever I want because I am the next president. I'll leave the rest to you, Miss Ordinary Employee.
We did the meeting without my brother, but it was pointless without him. And he made the client mad and messed up a very important contract. The anger of the other employees enduring his bad behavior finally exploded.
Hey, what do you mean that the achievements are half of the previous year?
Welcome to reality.
Do something about it.
I'm surprised that the person who is to blame for all of this could say such a thing.
It's not my fault.
Actually, it is. You had a bad attitude towards our huge client and terminated the contract. You act like you're some sort of big shot. Do you know how many people want to quit because of you?
Let the people who want to quit leave. This company is going to be mine. Therefore, I am the rule. For those who can't obey, they can leave and wander about.
I have bad news for my stupid brother. Your dismissal has been officially decided at the board meeting.
What?
From next month, you will no longer be an employee of this company.
That can't be right. I am the future president.
Even if you are the next president, you are currently just an employee with a position. Did you think that you could get away with using company expenses for drinking from noon?
I didn't do anything wrong. I can get away with anything. Dad wouldn't give permission to fire me.
Dad is no longer president because he was also held responsible for your actions.
What?
So, you were the son of the president, but now you're nothing but a useless asshole.
Why? How is that even possible?
It means that people were stressed about your behavior. But we can't leave the president position vacant, so Granddad is going to be the president once more.
What can that old man do?
Just so you know, you wouldn't last an hour if you worked for him. I'm going to be the secretary for the new president, while also doing other jobs so that we can repair the damage that has been done to the company. We also have a new, wonderful engineer coming to the tech development department. Guess who it is?
I don't know.
It's Tanaka, the person you were threatening back in high school.
Tanaka? The one that helped me cheat? Are you employing a subcontractor?
Tanaka is an extremely skilled engineer. He agreed to work here, with the condition that you get fired.
Are you choosing him over me?
Just think about it. It's too obvious who would be the more beneficial person to the company. We don't need useless bloodlines here at this company.
This is outrageous. I was born to become a president.
Then why don't you make a company? I doubt people would want to work with a business owner that can't even do math properly.
Wait, I at least get my severance pay, right?
Don't be naive. You're being dismissed. You're not getting anything. You should experience the real world now that you've had an easy life.
Wait, Sakura!
Oh yeah?
Are you going to help me?
I have D cups now.
You still remember that?
My brother was fired for the private use of company expenses. He had to pay back the money that he had spent and was now in huge debt. He currently works part-time and is paying the debt monthly. My father was also kicked off the seat of president because my father has a big ego. He quit the company. And now he just sits outside like a statue feeding the pigeons. My mother became mentally ill from the awful news of her precious son being fired and her husband being kicked out of his position. She's currently in a psychiatric ward. Meanwhile, I was studying on how to run a business for my strict grandfather so that I could one day take over the company. I wasn't treated well throughout my life, but my efforts were not in vain. From now on, I want to build my own future with my own strength.